Airlines have turned nickel and diming into an art form. Every year, the playbook gets sneakier and sneakier. And in 2026, it's hitting a whole new level. But here's the thing though, the only people who really suffer are the ones who don't know the travel game. By the end of this masterclass, you won't be one of them, of course not. You're going to be a travel pro, trust me. Now let's dive right in because there's a lot to uncover and unpack. And please stick with me because these are some underground secrets they wish you didn't know. Starting with secret number one, hidden fees and upsells. Let's start with the most obvious. Fees that appear out of nowhere. You've seen it. A ticket that says $99 suddenly costs $240 by the time you've added a bag, picked a seat, or dared to want a soda. And don't get me started on preferred seating. That's airline code for we're charging you for the same cramped seat, just a few rows closer to the restroom or bathroom or lavatory, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I had a subscriber write to me last month saying she paid $60 just to sit next to her husband on a 2-hour flight. $60! Can you imagine that? Airlines know that people won't separate from their families, so they monetized it. They milk you dry, your wallet dry. Here's the secret hack that they don't want you to know. Wait until check-in or when you are at the departure gate. Most airlines release unsold seats for free at that point because they want to fill the plane. If the plane isn't full, you'll often get moved next to your group without paying a dime. And those priority boarding offers? Pure psychology. Airlines scare you with limited overhead bin space, so you will pay extra just to board first. But in reality, gate agents can and will check your bag for free if the overhead bins are full. I'm sure you see that happen. And suddenly that $45 priority fee does not look so smart at all. Secret number two, the cheapest ticket illusion. Budget airlines love this one. You see a $49 fare and think you just won the lottery. But after adding a carry-on for $40, water for $5, seats for $30, and maybe printing a boarding pass for $10, you're suddenly out of over $130 for a bare bones flight. A friend of mine bragged about a $49 trip to Miami. By the time she arrived, she'd spent more than if she had just booked with Delta in the first place. Worse, she didn't even get free snacks. She got just a bill for a bag of pretzels. Here's the secret hack. Calculate the real cost before you buy or book. Add bags, seats, and extras up front. And if you don't like the math, just assume budget airlines always come with hidden cost. That's just the bottom line. Secret number three, dynamic pricing games. This one makes me roll my eyes because it feels shady. And it is. Airlines track your searches using cookies. Look up the same flight twice, and suddenly the price mysteriously increases. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure. I tested this with a New York to Tokyo flight. Day one, it was $782. Day two, same browser, same search, and it went up to $845. When I switched to incognito mode, boom, it was back to $782. Here's my secret hack. Always search in incognito mode or on a different device, or use flight alert tools that do the tracking for you without triggering price hikes. Number four, upgrade manipulation. Okay. Airlines love to dangle the last minute upgrade offers in front of passengers. What they don't tell you though is that they overbook economy flights and then use these offers to push desperate passengers into paying for premium. It's all a trick. But here's the truth. If you're patient and polite at the departure gate, you can sometimes get moved for free, especially if the economy flight is oversold. I once flew from Atlanta to Los Angeles, paid for an economy flight, and ended up in Comfort Plus just because I asked nicely when they were begging for volunteers. Let me tell you a juicy story. I know this guy. He was on a flight last year, bragging loudly that he always pays for priority boarding so he can grab the overhead bin space first. Guess what happened? He boarded early, stuffed his bag in row 12, and then walked back to his actual seat in row 27. The flight attendant caught it, and made him drag his bag all the way back to seat number 27. But he was holding up the line. Meanwhile, I boarded last. The gate agent checked my carry-on for free, and I walked on with just my cup of coffee. Free bag, zero stress. Who really won that game, that travel game? The bottom line, airlines make billions of dollars by confusing and scaring passengers into paying for things that they don't actually need. But now that you know their tricks, you can flip the script on them at any time. And I'm not done yet. Trust me, if you think airlines are sneaky, stick with me, because wait until you hear what airports are doing. Yeah, they're all in this little game together. Because while airlines are nickel and diming you in the air, airports are draining your wallet on the ground. And you need to hear this. So now you see exactly how airlines nickel and dime us. From fake priority boarding to hidden fees and sneaky dynamic pricing tricks. But this is only the beginning. Because while the airlines are playing games in the air, the airports are running their own playbook on unsuspecting passengers on the ground. And most travelers never even notice it. They really don't. But now you are going to notice it. In the next part of this masterclass, I'm going to walk you through 12 airport secrets that airlines are actually keeping quiet about. These are the hidden rules, the behind-the-scenes tricks, and the profit traps that make airports one of the most expensive parts of travel. And you know what I'm talking about. So let's move into module 2 and get you ready to outsmart the airports before 2026 hits. Okay? So module 2, as I said, is going to be about 12 airport secret airlines are actually keeping quiet about. Airports are designed to look like these shiny, efficient gateways to the world. But behind the polished glass and duty-free perfume counters, they are giant money-making machines. And airlines play along with it because they profit as well. You didn't know that? If you think airline fees were sneaky, wait until you hear how airports quietly drain your wallet and waste your time doing it. So here's secret number 1. The first security line trap. That's what we're going to talk about. Most passengers head straight to the first security checkpoint that they see. Airports design it that way. But those lanes are always the slowest. You want to know why? Because they're closest to the entrance. The real secret? Walk a little farther down. The lanes at the far end almost always move faster. And here's a pro tip. If you see business travelers heading to one lane, follow them. They know the system more than any other traveler does. All right, let's move on to secret number 2. That's airport retail partnerships. Have you ever wondered why a bottle of water costs $6 inside airport security when they're $1.50 outside? That's not just inflation. Airports cut deals and partnerships with airlines and vendors to gouge the prices. Just in case you didn't know. Airlines don't mind because the longer you're stuck waiting, the more money you spend in their exclusive retail zone. I once saw a family of 3 spend almost $50 on sandwiches and drinks before a 4-hour flight. Money that could have been saved if they'd packed their snacks. Secret number 3, seating area design. There's always a trick to make them money. Airports intentionally under seat waiting areas. Why? So you're more likely to walk around than shop while you're waiting. Notice how duty-free is always between airport security and your departure gate. That's no accident. And here is a hack. Find seating near rarely used departure gates. They're emptier and they're much calmer. Secret number 4, gate announcements game. Airlines sometimes gate swap at the last minute, not just for logistics, but to push passengers past more retail areas. It's a nudge tactic. You're basically a walking wallet to them, and they try every trick in the book, and they don't care how you feel about it either. Secret number 5, the bottled water hack. Here's one you'll thank me for if you haven't heard about it before. Airports count on you forgetting that you can bring an empty water bottle to airport security and refill it inside after you've passed through airport security. They install refill stations in obscure corners, but they never advertise them. That $6 bottle of water, it's optional. Pay attention to where these refill stations are the next time you fly so that you can be more prepared. Secret number 6, airport Wi-Fi tracking. Free Wi-Fi? It's more like free data harvesting. Airports track your browsing. You didn't know that? Sometimes they even share that information with the airlines. Have you ever noticed flight deals following you after a layover flight? Now you know why. Here's another hack. Use a VPN, or better yet, download what you need online before flying so that you don't have to use Wi-Fi at the airport. All right, let's continue. Secret number 7, power outlets are scarce on purpose. It's not bad design, it's intentional. Airports limit outlets so that you'll spend time in cafes or lounges. Did you ever notice how Starbucks always has a row of plugs? Not an accident. I once saw 3 strangers huddled around a single outlet, passing a charger like it was the last slice of pizza. I thought that was hilarious at the time, but now I know better. Secret number 8, duty-free loopholes. Duty-free shops love to market themselves as deals. That's a joke. Most of the time they're not. But here's the real secret. If you're on a long-haul flight with multiple connections, you can sometimes exceed liquid limits with duty-free purchases. But as long as they stay sealed in the bag with the receipt. TSA rarely tells passengers this, but airlines don't mind because duty-free profits are massive to them. Secret number 9, security theater. Security theater items, Some items like TSA approved locks are mostly about appearances. They don't actually protect much, but airports push them because they're partnering with retailers to give passengers a false sense of security. Secret number 10, passenger flow control. Have you ever noticed how you walk farther than necessary between airport security and departure gates? Think about it. Airports use layout designed to funnel you past those shops so you can stop and buy. They don't want efficiency, they want exposure. Secret number 11, premium lounge illusion. Airports advertise lounges as elite spaces. Only some people can go in. But here's the quiet truth. Day passes are often available, and credit cards give you free entry. Airlines don't tell you this because they want to keep exclusivity alive. But here's a pro tip. Check prior to pass or your credit card perks before assuming that lounges are out of your reach. Secret number 12, delay profits. Here's the biggest one. Airports actually profit from delays, flight delays. The longer you're stuck, the more you spend. Airlines pay fees to airports, vendors pay rent, and all that extra time equal extra money for everybody. No one wants to admit it, but the system isn't designed to move you quickly from departure to arrival. It's designed to milk every possible dollar out of you. So, airports aren't just waiting areas like you thought. They're carefully designed traps built to squeeze every dollar and every bit of patience out of travelers. But knowing these secrets gives you the upper hand and the power to outsmart the system, to keep your money in your pocket and your sanity intact. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Because while airports are pulling sneaky tricks, the TSA has its own set of unspoken rules. And in modules number 3, I'm going to reveal airport security secrets TSA won't tell you. This is where travelers lose the most time and sometimes even miss their flights. Let's make sure that never happens to you ever again. All right, so module 3 is about the airport security secrets TSA won't tell you. If you thought airlines and airports were sneaky, wait until you see the unspoken rules of TSA, as I alluded to. This is where travelers lose the most time, the most dignity, and sometimes even their flights. The truth? TSA agents know shortcuts, loopholes, and hacks that could save you hours. But they're not going to tell you. As a matter of fact, they're not allowed to tell you. Today, I'm going to be the insider. I'm going to share those secrets with you. Secret number 1, dress code equal fast track. TSA profiles passengers, if you didn't know that. But not always for danger, sometimes for efficiency. If you look prepared, they wave you through faster. If you look clueless or like a security risk, they slow you down for extra screening. That means you should wear slip-on shoes, not laces, minimal jewelry, layers that are easy to remove. That's so important. And here's where most travelers get blindsided. Metal accessories and heavy boots slow down the entire line. That's why I created my airline and TSA dress code guide for 2025 and beyond. It's a simple ebook filled with cheat codes on what to wear and what to avoid so that you breeze through airport security faster. If you've ever been that person fumbling with belts, jackets, and jewelry while the line behind you groans and complains, you know how valuable this ebook is going to be. I will leave the link to the ebook in the description. Now let's go on to secret number 2, the TSA pre-check and clear combination hack. I'm sure you've heard of TSA pre-check. You've heard of clear, right? But what most people don't realize is that the real hack is combining them. Pre-check speeds you through security rules. Keep your shoes on, laptops in your bag, while clear skips the line entirely, just in case you didn't know. And if you have them together, they will cut your wait times from 45 minutes to only 5 minutes. And here's the kicker. Clear often offers free trial memberships or discounts through credit cards. TSA won't advertise that because they want you waiting in long lines. I once arrived at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport with only 25 minutes before boarding. Pre-check alone wouldn't have saved me from missing that flight, but from getting on that flight, But with Clear, I was through security in under 4 minutes. If I didn't have both, I'd have been stranded. Lucky for me also, I didn't have to check a bag. That's why I like to travel with one bag. I created a whole digital bundle to show you how you can do that as well and save so much money on baggage fees and save time. That link will also be in the description. Now, secret number 3, the liquid rule loopholes. Most people know the 3-1-1 rule, right? 3.4 ounces, 1 quart size bag, 1 per person. But what TSA doesn't advertise are the exceptions. Prescription medications, baby formulas, medically necessary liquids. Yes. Frozen liquids. Yes. If they're frozen solid, they can pass through airport security. And here's a trick that you can use. Freeze your water bottle the night before your flight. If it's solid when you go through TSA, often they will let you go through with it. By the time you board, you've got free water that you don't have to pay for. Secret number 4, the laptop rule nobody explains. Everyone knows laptops must come out of your bag at most airports that don't yet have the new CT scanners. But the truth is, it's not about laptops. It's about battery density. Any large lithium power device is suspicious. That's how TSA looks at it. Well, here's the hack. If your laptop bag opens completely flat, many agents will let you leave the laptop inside. TSA never tells passengers this, but it saves time and stress. Secret number 5, behavior profiling. This one is a little juicy. TSA agents aren't just looking at bags. They're looking at you. Nervous fidgeting, asking too many questions, shuffling through documents like you've never flown before. That flags you. The fastest way through airport security is to act like you've done it before, even if you haven't done it before. Have your ID ready. Follow the person in front of you, what they do, and don't give them reason to pull you aside. A friend of mine flew for the first time in years. Everything changes over time. He was sweating, fumbling with papers, and asking if he should take his shoes off 3 separate times. And guess what? Extra screening. They pulled him aside. Meanwhile, the teenager behind him strolled through like it was a Starbucks line. Don't let that happen to you, please. Secret number 6, pre-check appointment shortcut. Here's a little known trick. TSA pre-check enrollment. The appointments can take weeks to book online. But if you call their cancellation line, you'll often snag a same-day slot. People cancel their appointments, that is. And those openings never make it back online. TSA won't tell you that because they're happy to let you wait. Secret number 7, the complaint process, that they keep quiet. Most travelers don't know this. If the TSA damages your property or treats you unfairly, there's an official complaint hotline and process that you can go through. You can get compensated, but they don't advertise that. They sure don't. But here's a pro tip. Always document issues using photos and agent names. You may not get thousands of dollars compensation, but it's more than nothing. And it holds TSA accountable so that they don't do it to others. And so here's the truth, though. TSA isn't just about safety. It's about control, speed, and optics. The agents know what works, but they never volunteer that information. But guess what? Now you know. But we're not done yet, because even if you ace it through airport security, like a travel pro, you're not in the clear. Airlines have one last game that they play, and it happens at the departure gate. In Module 4, which I'm going to talk about now, I'm going to reveal the boarding hacks that airlines don't advertise, including why you should always board last. This could be a game changer for you and the smartest move that you make in 2026. All right, let's move into module number 4, which is the boarding hacks that airlines don't advertise. By now, you've dodged airline tricks, you've outsmarted airport traps, and you've breezed past TSA. But just when you think that you're safe, airlines pull one more move on you, and that's the boarding game. Most passengers don't even realize that there's a game that they're being played, but it's where airlines make their money and passengers lose time. They lose comfort and even money. Let's pull back the curtain because we're going to expose them. Hack number 1, the always board last advantage. Airlines push priority boarding like crazy. They push it like it's luxury. But here's the truth. Boarding last can actually be better for you. You want to know why? You don't have to wait in a hot, crowded jet bridge. If overhead bins are full, gate agents often check your bag for free. You can see which rows still have open seats when you board last, and sometimes you can ask to be moved. I once waited until the final call to board a flight to Chicago. My carry-on got gate checked for free, and when I boarded, I spotted an empty exit row. I just smiled quickly to the flight attendant and pointed over to the seat, and guess what? I got legroom seat. You guessed right, I sure did. Hack number 2, boarding group psychology. Here's a dirty little secret. Airlines use boarding groups specifically to make you feel inferior. Group 1 feels special, Group 8 feels punished, but in reality, the difference is only about 15 minutes. Here's the trick. If you have a co-branded airline credit card, you often get automatic earlier boarding. in case you didn't know. But even if you don't, boarding later saves you hassle, as I just discussed. You're not standing in line forever. And there's so many different positive things that can come out of boarding last. Hack number 3, the empty seat shuffle. Once that cabin door closes, the airline cannot charge you extra for a better seat. That's when you make your move. Wait until the seatbelt sign is off. Then politely ask a flight attendant if you can move to an empty row or seat. Airlines will almost always say yes, especially if the plane isn't full. A subscriber of mine did this on a transatlantic flight. He moved from a middle seat in economy to an entire empty row in the back. He stretched out and actually slept, while the guy in front of him had paid $150 for extra comfort. Hack number 4, the carry-on strategy. Airlines love to scare you about overhead bin space. Here's the secret though. If your bag fits under the seat, you'll avoid the bag police altogether because they come up and down the aisle. You know that. And if bins fill up, gate agents check carry-ons for free, as we spoke about. The translation, never pay baggage fees if you don't have to. Hack number 5, upgrade timing. Have you ever wondered why airlines sometimes announce last-minute upgrades right before boarding? It's because they've oversold economy flights and need people to move, but they want them to pay to move. But here's the hack. If you don't buy it and the economy flight is too full, you may be upgraded free at the gate. Here's a little trick, to use. Be polite, dress neatly, and ask at the counter. Gate agents often reward passengers who are flexible and who are kind and who are courteous and nice and manageable and respectful. Just in case you didn't know. Let's continue. Hack number 6, seat map sleuthing. Here's one hack airlines hate. Check the seat map again 24 hours before your flight. That's when unsold premium seats sometimes get released for free. If you've already checked in online, you can still switch in the app. So boarding isn't about being first, it's about being smart. Whether it's getting free bag checks, grabbing an empty seat, or scoring a last-minute upgrade, these little-known hacks turn the boarding process from frustration into an opportunity for you. But here's the thing though. These tricks work for everyone, but there's one group of travelers who need extra help. And guess who that is? That's seniors. In Module 5, I'm going to reveal the Senior Traveler Survival Guide for 2026, including special programs, exemptions, and hacks that most people don't even know exist. This is where you or your loved ones can travel with dignity, safety, and confidence. Let's move into Module 5 now. And as I said, this is the Senior Traveler Survival Guide for 2026 and beyond. Here's the truth. Airlines and TSA design their systems for speed, for profit, and for efficiency. We already established that. They don't do it for comfort, though. And for seniors, that creates unique challenges. But here's the part that they don't want you to know. There are special rules, exemptions, and programs that seniors can use to make travel 10 times easier. The problem? Hardly anyone talks about them. But let's fix that today. So secret number 1 is the TSA Cares program. Most seniors don't even know that this exists. TSA Cares is a free helpline that lets you request extra assistance at airport security checkpoints. You can call 72 hours in advance and arrange for help if you have mobility issues, medical devices, or just need an escort. I spoke with a subscriber who dreaded flying after her hip surgery. She used TSA Cares, and a TSA officer personally walked her through the process. She told me it was the first time I didn't feel like a burden to the airport. And that's really commendable. Airlines won't advertise this because it doesn't make them money. But it can change everything for seniors. I will leave a link I will leave the TSA Cares phone number in the description below so that you can have it. Make sure to save it on your phone for your next trip. Secret number 2 is mobility and escort services for seniors. Airlines are required to provide wheelchair escorts for free from check-in all the way to your departure gate and even to baggage claim. But here's the catch. You have to request it in advance. Don't wait until you're standing in line. And if you're traveling internationally, many airports have hidden senior lanes that move faster at airport security. But guess what? You have to ask. Secret number 3, medication and medical devices loopholes. This ties back to the TSA rules that we talked about earlier, but seniors get even more flexibility. Medications, liquid, nutrition, CPAP machines, oxygen tanks, all exempt from standard limits. But if you don't declare them, though, you'll get flagged at airport security. But here's a little hack. Pack medications in original bottles and that you get at the pharmacy, and bring a doctor's note for medical devices. You'll glide through airport security instead of being pulled aside for extra screening. Secret number 4, airline seating for seniors. Here's one that airlines keep quiet. Many airline carriers quietly prioritize seniors for aisle or front row seating. If you ask, it's not guaranteed, but it happens more often than you'd think. The trick? Don't wait until boarding. Call the airline 24 to 48 hours in advance and mention mobility or medical needs to them. They will facilitate you. Secret number 5, insurance and coverage pitfalls. This sounds boring, but it's critical. Medicare doesn't cover you outside of the USA. If you're traveling internationally in 2026, you need travel insurance, especially policies that cover medical evacuation. The airlines won't say this because they don't profit from your insurance. But one emergency could bankrupt you. I will leave a link to a good travel insurance company in the description. They offer discounts as well. A senior couple on a cruise needed an emergency airlift evacuation. Their bill? Over $40,000. But insurance covered it because they planned ahead. Without it, they would have lost their entire savings. Now, here's a bonus hack. Senior discounts airlines don't promote. And I'm giving you this as a bonus. Some airlines still offer senior fares, like Southwest and United Airlines. But guess what? They hide them on their websites. You have to search specifically or call customer service to ask. Most seniors never know, and they end up overpaying. So here's the bottom line. Seniors don't have to struggle through airports. Between TSA Cares, mobility programs, medication exemptions, hidden seating perks, and smart insurance, travel in 2026 can actually be empowering if you know the secrets I just mentioned. And that's the theme of this entire masterclass, knowledge, because knowledge is power. Airlines, airports, and TSA thrive on keeping you in the dark. They don't want you to know all this stuff that I just told you. But today, we have pulled back the curtain. You now know the tricks, the hacks, and the insider strategies that will help you travel smarter, cheaper, and with more confidence in 2026. And please, go grab my ebook, Secrets to Outsmart the Airlines from Booking to Boarding. You should never travel again without this. And you will thank me later as well for purchasing this. I hope you got some value from this masterclass. And if you want to go deeper, just grab my senior travel bundle as well and my 55 travel disasters survival guide. These resources include the checklists, planners, and solutions that I don't share on this YouTube channel, but they're exactly what you'll need to feel fully prepared for your next trip. And don't forget, I also put together a free 2026 travel survival checklist. Download it now, print it, and keep it in your travel bag for your next trip. Trust me, it will save you stress and money. And finally, hit that subscribe and that notification bell because my next video is about 12 airline secrets that airlines hope you never discover in 2026. That one takes everything that we have talked about today and pushes it even further. Thank you so much for watching. And guess what? I got you. Safe travels. And I hope that you gained something from this video. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you're going to put these tricks, tips, and secrets and hacks into practice so that you can have the upper hand, because the airlines don't really care about you. They care about the money that you spend with them. Thanks again, and take care.